Dave, you made this beat.
Mark is on its way, boy.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Christian coming at y'all with another video. Today, I'm going to be going over Nasdaq's price action, right? Lots of choppiness this morning. About to go over some of the losses that I took, as well as me recovering them, and essentially keeping your composure, right, when you take losses, and just basically knowing when you're going to understand yourself, right, or knowing how to understand yourself. So first, let's kind of dive into what I saw in regards to, in regards to us looking for opportunities this morning. So essentially what I saw when I first got up a little late today. So, with that being said, I had to work with the price action that was already delivered before I woke up. I woke up at 5. Normally I wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I can kind of get a feel for what the market looks like at that moment before everything starts picking up. But essentially when I got on the chart, basically we were around here, right? I kind of figured that we were going to come up into this fair value gap, which we eventually ended up doing. So with that being said, my bias was still bearish overall, because as you can see, we're still bearish, right? We have equal lows that were down here, so I figured that maybe we're going to push down into there, but we're probably going to rebalance like we're doing right now before that continues, right? There's something to keep in mind too. If this ends up getting broken, this high, that's going to be our shift in market structure on the daily, or break of structure, okay? So that would mean that now we're going to head up for higher prices and target these highs, potentially get above these highs if it came to that, right? So with that being said, with the idea of potential rebalancing occurring, let's go down to the smaller time frames and kind of dive into what I was seeing. Okay, so let's go to 5 minute. All right, so when I hopped on the chart this morning, we were in here basically 5 o'clock, 5:30. Okay, so I was anticipating us potentially doing what we did, right, dropping down below one of these lows, and then attacking this high, ultimately running into this daily fair value gap, right, which now we basically have done, right? So let's go to the 1 minute real fast. So essentially what happened this morning was, I was essentially looking for sells at first to get down below some of these lows, right? Like when we ran up above this, I was thinking about taking a sell to see if we could get below here, maybe into this fair value gap. Let me pull up the executions so I can have those there as well. So as you could see, when the sell happened, right, when it came down, I did end up taking a sell down here, which was a bad choice. I shouldn't have done that, right? No one can be perfect, right? We all make mistakes. But nonetheless, when I took that entry, that is this first loss down here. Okay, that's this loss down here. All right. And with that loss happening there, I ended up taking another entry right up in here, which ended up getting stopped out, right, which was right here, ended up punching above, getting stopped out there. Then the second entry was I got stopped out right up in here, okay, and that this entry was also right up in here as well, right? So there's where the losses occurred, was in this choppiness, right, from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock essentially, right? So that's where the mistakes occurred, or being off sides occurred, right? Price did eventually end up pushing lower, close to where I was anticipating, but it pushed down below the lows I was anticipating taking, originally, before we ended up pushing up to our initial target, which was the daily fair value gap that I outlined for you guys a second ago, right? With that being said, right, with the mistakes out of the way, I initially saw, when we dropped down below this last low, and came closer to this fair value gap, I saw there was bullish S&T divergence between the three indices. Okay, that's what made me confident in this entry, this pyramid entry, and then initially this third pyramid entry as well, which ended up cleaning up all this nonsense that happened earlier in the trading day, right? So diving a little bit more into S&T, right, and how I utilize it. Basically, when I'm looking for bullish prices, right, I'm looking for, when I'm in a situation where I feel like we're going to see bullishness, like say we push down into some kind of point of interest or push below some lows that I find, interesting or could lead to some type of bullishness, with, of course, my overall bias showing bullishness, right? You have to have a bias when you're looking for SMT, right? Because if you're just trying to look for it randomly and don't have an idea of a bias, you're going to end up getting chopped up, right? So in this moment, after I took these losses, when I was waiting, because that's what you need to understand. Like if you take losses, you have to wait, okay? Regain your composure, right? And just be patient. You can't force yourself to take more trades and make it back right away, because setups occur every day, right? There's a lot of setups that occur, but you have to be patient enough and, all there mentally, right? To be able to basically interpret what price is telling you. Like this right here. This is the main thing that I like to see, right? When I'm trading the way that I'm trading. So when I saw this run below this low, right, that's when I started flipping through the indices to see, okay, S&P also made a lower low. What about the US 30? US 30 made a failure swing to go lower, right? It basically made a higher low, right? So with that being said, in that moment, when I saw that correlation together, right? And then we broke through this high, this swing high. That's when I was anticipating, okay, we probably have a setup now, right? So then when we retraced back into the fair value gap, boom, that was when the entry occurred, right, for the buys, and targeting the initial high that I showed you guys, which was over here, which was this high, and then ultimately pushing us up into this fair value gap on the daily chart that I just showed you guys, right? So when I took this entry, right, stop was like down here, right next to this order block, because if we push lower, I was gonna basically cut the trade, if we were wrong or whatever, right? But nonetheless, when price pushed up even higher, not only did it break this structure, it also attacked this high or shift and market structure. Not only did it shift once, twice, but it did it 3, 4 times, right? It took out 4 levels of liquidity. So that made me really confident that we were going to potentially see higher prices moving forward, right? So I ended up stacking an entry here, right? Stop below this low where the initial entry was, right? The first one. And then also there was one right here as well. Or actually, I think this was not a pyramid entry. I actually took some partials there. So, and then as price was moving up, took more here, took partials. Or no, I think that was an entry. Let me see. Not sure what that arrow is actually. Uh, 57.79. Okay, yeah, that's probably this. That's probably this little. I'm not so sure what happened there actually. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. But anyways, nonetheless, right, as price pushed up into our targets, right, I took partials right before it hit the initial target, and then I took a final, collapsed, take profit right above when we hit that high, right? Because I didn't need to be perfect. I made my profit, right, as you guys can see from down here. Okay. we were actually at 46, right? We started at 46 and then we ended at 48, 348. Okay, so basically a little under 2,000, right? A little under 2,000, or actually, yeah, a little under like 1980, basically 1980, right? So not a bad day, right? But what I want to kind of dive into is, the understanding of, when you're taking losses, you need to be calm, okay? Because losses are part of the game. Basically, the losses I took here gave me premium insights as far as, these entries are concerned over here, right? When I was able to basically clean up the losses. And if you get flustered, right, or if you're taking losses and it messes with your psychology, that's the part of trading that you need to really understand yourself. You know what I mean? You really have to understand yourself, because if you don't understand yourself and how you're going to react in these certain scenarios, and you're just like gunslinging, right, just machine gunning trades out, you're just going to get smacked down every time. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be very difficult, very challenging, more challenging than it already is, and it's going to be self-caused, which is, something most people don't like to admit. But most problems that people have psychologically with trading is, it's a personal thing. It's a self-inflicted wound. Okay, so you have to be able to, build your skill set with that, and that skill set being understanding yourself. You can't just take a loss and move forward, just look at the next trade. You know what I mean? You have to take losses, try to dissect what happened, use that insight to help you, make better decisions, right? And if you're not there yet mentally, right, then you have to just relax, right? If you take a couple losses, just chill. If you're not confident in your abilities yet to make back the losses, wait till the next day so you have a fresh mindset. Because if you don't have a fresh mindset, and say you're really new, and you take losses and you're just getting completely annihilated, you know what I mean? Like, you can't move forward with that, because you're not going to grow. All you're going to do is just mess yourself up, it's just unnecessary. Okay, so you got to really understand how you're going to react in these certain moments. And when you see price action like this, it's really choppy, a bunch of nonsense going very slowly, right? Just choose to wait, study price, study what happens, so then you can come back the next time prepared with some valuable understanding, right? So yeah, I hope that made sense. I hope that helped you guys out. As always, right, let me know in the comments anything you guys would like me to talk about or dive deeper into. If this helped you, right, in any way, or if you guys like the content, please share it with anyone that's interested in trading, or just anyone that you think this could benefit, right? Because it really helps the channel out. I'm trying to grow this channel, reach as many people as I can, right, to try to assist in any way I can as well, right? So yeah, with that being said, you guys, I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and a profitable rest of your week. Okay, so talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Save, you made this beat.